I will echo what most everyone has said this morning. If you don't have to be out there on the roadways today, please stay home. I can't say it as meaningfully as Ivan can, but
Stay your ass home.
stay. Thank you. Please stay home. Give the crews the space that they need. And honestly, it is not a great situation out there. We've seen a
Yeah.
lot of people, even from a AAA perspective, just under 100 calls yesterday in
Wow.
Delaware. And about half of them, those vehicles needed to be extracted. They needed to be pulled out of the snow because they lost control of the car and couldn't get themselves out. So those risks, as I say to my teenage drivers, those are risks that don't need to be taken on if you don't need to be out there on the roadways. But we do understand that we have plenty of essential workers who do need to be out there. So it's a plenty of extra time situation. Remove all the snow and ice from your car. That's going to take you plenty of extra time right there. Slow down your speeds considerably and increase your following distance. With sub-freezing temperatures, anything that looks remotely shiny, even the snow with the sleet that came down after the
Mhm.
snow yesterday, it's a very slick and slippery situation out there.
Yeah, I looked up. After we got off the call yesterday, Jana, we went to Del Dot and looked at their cameras, right? And we were surprised to see that people were still out. We pulled up
Yeah.
every different county, and people were still out. They were on 95. They were going through
Yeah.
the city. They were going through Middletown. They were down in Harrington, and we were just so shocked that people were trying to
Yeah.
still do whatever they needed to do. And you said you had over 100 calls. Chief Looney said he had over 134 emergency calls. Like that is like people stay inside. It is
Yeah,
dangerous. It's crazy out there.
we just need to take a pause and just it's not that important, right? Hang in there. You'll be okay. And ice is a real issue. I mean, you see these videos, just do yourself a favor and go on whatever social media app and look up black ice road conditions and look at these pileups that you will see.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. It's incredibly dangerous and it's all fine until it's not. And then, but it's too late by the time it hits. And you're going to be in a situation you could have avoided by just staying home. And you'll be very thankful that you did.
Yeah.
Just stay
Yeah.
home. It's not worth it. Yeah.
From ice. It doesn't matter what you are driving, four-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, big SUV, pickup truck, no matter what you are driving, that patch of ice, you're not immune to it. So it's not worth, the older, I'll speak for myself, the older I get, the more I assess what the potential risk is. That wisdom that we know what could potentially happen, to your point, it is just not worth the risk if you don't have to be out there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, listen, ice is just one of those things. And, as somebody, I grew up in Syracuse, New York, right? So you kind of get used to these things. You understand that it is just something you cannot control.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
there is no tire on planet Earth that can grip on black ice. It will just not work out in your favor.
And speaking of Jen, I wanted also on top of that, we talked about the ice and the treacherous conditions, staying at home, but in the next day or two, when we're shoveling ourselves out, we're getting the call that we need to come back into work, the snow days are over. I want to talk about dead batteries in our
Mm.
cars because from what I understand from information that you sent your media partners, the cold is extremely, extremely tough on your car. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. Leading up to this snowstorm, AAA saw a surge in our member calls for dead car batteries because the extreme cold takes a toll. It takes about 30% of your battery's power to start your car on a 32-degree day. Once you drop below freezing, it could take upwards of 60% of your car's battery strength to start your car. Problem is, if you don't remember the last time you changed your car battery, and most last between 3 to 5 years, your battery may not be operating at optimum strength. So, this cold snap that we have, likely not above freezing before February, is definitely going to take a toll
Mm.
on car batteries. So, you're staying home today, but do yourself a favor, go outside, start your car, let it run for about 10 minutes or so. Do the same thing again tomorrow, even if you're not going somewhere, because cold weather has a significant impact on car batteries, also on your tires. With every 10-degree temperature drop, your tires lose 1 to 2 psis. I've seen the alert come across my dash, check the tire pressure. I'm sure many others have as well. Those are the things, the primary things that you need to look out for when the weather, especially the temperatures, drop below freezing.
Jana, you are just a wealth of freaking knowledge.
He
You know,
is.
it is so crazy just to hear like all this all this tips that you have and information that you have regarding like what people should do. And I think that the governor needs to pass a law right now when it comes to people getting air in your tires. Like people are going to get air in their tires for this winter, and it's costing them $3.50 to get air in their tires,
Ooh.
which is insane. Because I went to Wawa to get air in my tires because that's exactly what happened, and there was a line like people were out of gas, and thank God it was free. But other places, I had an elderly lady tell me she paid $3.50 and to get air in her tires. So, but you're just a wealth of knowledge of when it comes to that. Is there anything else that people need to know? We want to definitely take this time because I'm sitting here listening to you and I'm just like thinking like a lot of our audience probably don't even know that things to look out for.
Yeah, Ivan, thank you for that. Now is the time. We're waiting to get back out there on the roadways. Now's the time to prepare really for the next one. So if you haven't had your vehicle serviced for winter weather, once you can get back out there safely, make that appointment. Motorists might find it hard to believe, but performing routine maintenance to your vehicle, your regular oil and filter changes, have a mechanic test your battery for you, have your tires checked, not just for air pressure, but for tread depth. Performing routine maintenance like that can oftentimes prevent a more costly expense later down the road. And if you haven't packed that vehicle emergency kit, collect all of those items over the next few days, pack it away in your car so that you have it there. Don't look now, but we've got 2 more months of winter ahead of us, and there's no telling what that's going to look like. So preparation is always key.
That's so true. We're not even probably in the thick of it. Honestly, we're not even towards the other side yet. We won't see that for a couple more months. But Jen, I wanted to also mention, people, when we talked about this yesterday, but people, when they hear AAA, they think, oh, those are the saviors that come and save us on the side of the road, and they tow us and they jump our car battery. That's like maybe 20% of what I'm making this out of what AAA does, right? Can you just run through some of the other benefits of having that AAA card in your wallet or your virtual wallet, I guess nowadays?
Of course, Matt, I appreciate that. Obviously, we are the leader in roadside assistance, and we appreciate our members who value that service. But travel, we are the nation's largest travel agency, and our travel advisors are vigorously working to help our air travelers right now get rebooked on flights across the country, as well as perhaps extend their stay in many places because the flight disruptions will have a ripple effect throughout this week. Also, when you're traveling, who doesn't like a good discount? With your AAA membership, those hotels, some rental cars, restaurants, attraction tickets, those kinds of things, your AAA membership is good for a lot of discounts out there that many people often tell me they had no idea were out there. So if you are a AAA member, thank you for the faith that you put in us as an organization. If you're not, come visit us at AAA.com. Take a look at what we have to offer. And I can tell you, As a motorist, there's a lot to be said for peace of mind. But many people listening out there, as a mom of teenage motorists, there's a lot to be said out there for them. Ivan, you were kind enough to say that I'm a wealth of information, and I'll share that I don't think my teenage daughter thinks that I'm a wealth of information this morning, because I've kind of stifled some plans out there for the day. But safety first, and that's what everybody should be considering out there today.
Yeah, she's
Agreed.
like, you're a wealth of something.
That's about right. Yes, that is about right.
You know, and again, I want to say this, like we said yesterday, AAA is not a sponsor of DETV or gave us any money to say anything like this. But I want to say that we do have Ivan Thomas and his family does have just joined this amazing promotion that AAA has for $25 for the year. You will get access to, getting your car towed, or getting, if you lock your keys in the door. So in your car. I definitely wanted to make sure we said that, because $25 goes a long way, and especially if you need help. I did not know, Jana. I just sat here and I did not know that AAA is like the biggest travel agency. I did not know that.
Oh man, listen, I used to get the triptych back in the day, which was like like you could get your whole trip on this
Yes.
like
Are you
little
serious?
like flip book map thing. It was crazy. This is a long time ago, but I do remember those for sure.
Yes,
there's
to blow their mind. They're still popular now, aren't they?
They really are. A lot of people, there's a lot of nostalgia there associated with those AAA triptychs. You can do it now yourself with the AAA app on your phone.
Oh, that's cool.
But those triptychs, I love to hear people talk about those memories, the highlighted route. And as you said, Chris, like we're just turning page after page of your route to your family vacation back in the day. So yeah, absolutely. AAA is synonymous with travel, and booking travel with a trusted travel advisor is something that really pays off, especially in these situations where weather can have a huge impact.
Wow, I didn't know that. I feel like this is down and becomes a commercial. Wow, I didn't know that.
Well, you know what? I'm sure you could go online and learn more, Ivan.
We're gonna have to have lunch, Ivan.
Yes, and I'm sure that this today's episode is streaming on 15 social media platforms, that a lot of our people didn't know that as well. But I thank you for the information. It's definitely important. Oh my God.
And you said that they're not a sponsor, but they could be. I'm just kidding. I
feel like I need to be like the young girl from Instagram now that made a jingle for Dr. Pepper, right?
Oh my God, seriously, that's another story for another day. Yeah. But it is an actually really interesting story. And somebody really who writes jingles and does music production. It was cool to see. It's kind of awesome.
Hey Jana, how long have you been at AAA?
I've been here almost 18 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I started when I was 10.
What are some of the other misconceptions, that you heard about what people think of AAA?
I've heard a lot of people, when we start to talk similar to you, a lot of people say, oh, you want to see my membership card? I've been a member since, this many years. And then I hear people who say, oh, I'm so sorry to tell you, we let our membership lapse. But the biggest misconception is, to your point, that all we do is roadside assistance. And a lot of people think that in this day and age, you can just, oh, my auto insurance offers that, or, the auto dealer offers that with a warranty. And that may very well be true. I'm not discounting any of that. But the depth of our fleet and our fleet network and our response times, I've also heard a lot of people say, we dropped AAA because we had it with our policy, but they're not as responsive as AAA is. So, we are number one in roadside assistance for that very reason. And like I've already said, I'm a big believer in peace of mind and a trusted product and a trusted service there. And especially over the next few days, sub-freezing temperatures, it is going to be a dangerous situation if you are stuck out there in your car for whatever that reason happens to be, whether it's your breakdown or not. So safety first, always.
Yeah. Well,
Love
listen, if you want gaps in your coverage, then don't call AAA, I guess. You
How
know?
about that?
$25 take you a long
That's
way.
right. Yeah, fill
All
those
right.
gaps. Give them a call.
So Janet, what does the rest of your day look like today?
Well, we're going to monitor our member calls today, who's calling us, what they need. Hopefully, most people, schools closed and with remote work as an option, a lot of people will heed that warning to stay off the roads. But those who are returning to the roadways, I guarantee you that we will see an uptick in those calls for not just people stuck on the side of the road because they're in a snowbank, but those dead car batteries, we're going to see more and more car batteries succumb to this cold in the coming days. It's not going to warm up anytime soon.
Okay. All right.
Well, we appreciate you coming on.
Thanks so much for having me.
All right.
Stay warm, stay safe out there.
We'll probably reach out again because it looks like we're going to be on every day this week to make sure people get information that they need. So, Jana, thank you so much. And thank you for everything that you and your team are doing over at AAA.
Thanks so much, Ivan. We appreciate that. Be safe.
You got it.
Okay, you too.